we have to set good examples in leadership, and we have to set good examples in ethics and professional standards. I can tell you, there would always be opportunities where you would find people around you, some people around you are indulging in the practices which are not as per the professional standards. There may be a temptation. Oh, everybody is doing. Why should I not do that actually? And remember, shortcuts leads to short-term joy and long-term pain. So therefore, please remember, as company secretaries, you have a responsibility. Adhere to ethics, adhere to professional standards. It may be difficult in the beginning, of course, but I can tell you, if you continue to adhere to the professional standards and ethics, you may suffer in short term, but long term is really going to be a rewarding one. Please remember, as professionals, we all are leaders. A leader का मतलब क्या है? Leader का मतलब ये है to do the things so that others should follow us and not vice versa. So I would very strongly recommend to all of you, before I come to the main topic of financial statements, do not go through shortcuts, because shortcuts leads to long-term problem. You all are at the threshold of your career, and I can tell you, based on my experience of life and the profession, all of you at this point in time should decide and select one area in which you should decide and determine to become an expert. तो आगे 3 4 5 सालों में एक कोई सा भी एरिया आइडेंटिफाई करिए, और आज की तारीख में हिंदुस्तान में I can tell you, you people are really very fortunate to have born in this country, number one, and to have born in this country at a very right time, because the country's growth, the country's economic situation was never as good ever in the past. So decide one area, koi sa bhi ho, whatever it may be of your choice. Become an authority in that subject. Become an authority in that topic. As much as anybody in your city or in your state or in the whole country, if they have a doubt about that particular topic, they must contact you, they must consult you, and that is what you should do. Please remember, if you take shortcuts, you will keep on struggling for whole of your life. But if you become an authority, the name and the fame and the money and reputation, everything will follow automatically. Because when you become strong, when you become an authority, you start adding more value, you start creating more value. So when you are creating more value, what happens? When you create value, you automatically start becoming valuable. And when you start becoming valuable, the value automatically starts following you. And that is what it is going to be. So friends, remember, it doesn't really matter whether you are practicing as a company secretary or you are in employment. What you will be doing as a company secretary, you are going to help your clients, help your companies take decisions. Decisions of what? Decisions of every kind in the business, so as to help your companies to create more value. And remember, all the decisions that I'm sure all of you are aware in the corporate world, whether it is a merger, amalgamation, capex, a greenfield project, brownfield project, making investment outside, getting money from outside, doesn't really matter. All the decisions that are taken in the corporate world, and about which you will be advising your clients and your companies, every decision will involve finance. Every decision, without any exception, will involve finance. That means what? That means we all need to have very good understanding of finance. Let me tell you, friends, without good understanding of finance, you will always find yourself handicapped. And therefore, it is absolutely necessary that you have a very strong hold on the finance, on the reading of financial statements. And I'm so glad that this topic is part of your entire program. So that is what we are going to cover. So what are the financial statements? We all know it very well. Now, what are we going to focus today in this session? We are going to focus in this session today as to how the numbers are used for the purpose of decision making. Numbers which are given in the profit and loss statement, numbers which are given in the balance sheet, numbers which are given in the cash flow statement. Now, how these numbers are used all over the world by the top managements for taking decisions, and that is what we are going to understand today together. So I don't intend to make this session, friends, a one-way traffic. I definitely intend to make this session two-way traffic. So when I say two-way traffic, it means what it means. Uh, Not only I'm going to speak, but I would like all of you also to speak from time to time. And it's going to be an interactive session. It's going to be a participative session, and therefore I would very strongly urge to all of you that whenever you have a doubt, you have a question, and you have a query, please do not hesitate to raise your hand and ask me about that doubt, about that question, and I would be very happy to answer that. At the same time, if I ask you a question, you must also respond to those questions. Now, unfortunately, when I'm talking to you, I can see on my screen my presentation, so I don't see the chat box and things like this. So therefore, what I would urge to all of you is doesn't really matter. Even if I am not able to see the chat box, is fine. You can always raise your hand, and uh, no, you can always interrupt me, not an issue at all, and I would answer your queries.